So another topic that came up in live stream today. We got to talking about nice guys. I'm not going to explain that term. I think we all know. Well, yeah, no, I'll explain it. Whatever, fuck it. It's a simple term. You know, the nice guys. The guys that have to proclaim all the time. Like, I'm a nice guy. Why don't I get girls and all this shit? And, like, first of all, like, if you have to tell someone that you're nice, you're probably not nice. A lion doesn't have to tell anyone that the lion doesn't have to say that they're a lion, as they say. If you have to say that you're nice, then obviously there is evidence to the contrary that someone has picked up on, and you are trying to convince them otherwise, or so it would appear. But somebody came up with a fantastic analogy that Jesus, what the fuck? That I just had to share because it was too perfect. Guys that, proclaim to be nice. The thing is that it's a very fast burn. And these are the guys that, and women do this too. But it's the love bombing. It's the, it's the showering of affection very early on. But the thing is, it's only to achieve a very specific, very short-term goal of getting you into their circle and under their control and under the label of girlfriend, significant other, whatever. They have a very specific end game. And once that end game is accomplished, the act drops. And you see that a lot in discussions about narcissism. But the analogy that someone came up with that was genius was that it's like the 90-day probationary period at a new job. Oofa. And when you think about it, fuck me, it is exactly like that. I am fortunate enough to not have gone through a romantic relationship like this, but I have gone through abusive situations in which I have encountered this, and it is devastating because it's emotional abuse, and it is, which in my experience, having experienced several forms of abuse, unfortunately, in my life, emotional, by far, probably the worst in my case. Emotional abuse can be worse than physical abuse in a lot of cases. But it's like the 90-day probationary period when you get to a new job. And you think like, okay, for these 90 days, these 3 months, I am going to be the perfect employee. I'll be a fucking angel. I'll put in more work than I need to. I'll stay overtime if I need to. Kiss the boss's ass. Just bring cookies. Like whatever the fuck. Schmooze it up. Just be a star employee. I only have to be a star employee for 90 days. And then when that probationary period is over, by then they have to keep me, and they can fire me. But if they want to fire me, it's going to take a lot more work, a lot more paperwork. And I can after those 90 days, I can fuck up. I can fuck up pretty bad, actually. And they would still have to go through a whole bunch of paperwork in order to fire me. There would have to be very specific incidents. And of course, I'm going to cover my ass and make sure that they can't get me on technicalities. I'm going to document the shit out of my behavior. So they got to be very, very specific about what I fucking did. So basically, the power balance has shifted. So I'm just going to wait until the power balance shifts after this 90-day period. And then I don't have to be that star employee anymore. I just need to be a star employee for 90 days. And then I can drop this act, this angel act, because I've got my end game. I've secured my job. I've secured my position. It's a little more semi-permanent now. And I'm no longer under evaluation. Once I am no longer under evaluation, I can drop the fucking act. And that's terrifying. Now, I'm not saying that that's not necessarily a healthy way to approach some jobs, because a job is a fucking job. A job is not a romantic relationship, and it can be kind of fair to see a job that way in some cases. But if you treat a romantic relationship or just a friendly relationship, but in these terms we're talking about romantic relationships. If you treat a romantic relationship like that, you're not being smart and you're not being cool or anything. You are being a manipulator. You might be. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist. But in my lived experience, if you treat a romantic relationship like a 90-day probationary period in which you have this very specific end game of just hooking them in, you're not a nice guy or person. You're not nice. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you're a fucking manipulator. And that's just that. I thought that was a fantastic example, and I needed to share it with you guys, especially in case there is anyone out there of any gender in a relationship like that, in which you might realize that 90-day probationary period, or however long it is. I'm not saying it's always 90 days, but I'm just saying, like, there's a period at which the love bombing stops. And if you find yourself in that situation, you realize that somebody is treating you like a job to be secured so that they can slack off for the rest of the relationship and treat you less than. Get out. Get out.